Wait, hold on a second. This doesn't feel right. What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another episode of WNN. I'm your host, Weaver Beats, with the music production news. Tonight we'll be talking about people getting sued, Rick Rubin, people buying companies, new plugins. We got it all tonight, guys. News. In our first story, Rick Astley is suing Young Gravy, great name, over his nearly undistinguishable voice impression, or imitation, whatever you want to call it. Little known fact, Young Gravy was actually in the same collective as me a few years back now. Man, what the fuck? So Young Gravy is getting sued for violating his right of publicity, false endorsement, and unfair competition for flagrantly impersonating his vocal lines in his song Betty Get Money. Let's just check that out here real quick. I think everyone's familiar with what the Rickroll sounds like, right?
Grady, why you out of pocket? Stop it.
So they had obtained the rights to it to recreate the music and lyrics. They interpolated it. However, when they obtained these rights, though, that meant that they were not allowed to sample the original song, and according to Astley's lawyers, were not allowed to directly mimic the exact sounds of the original. I'm assuming they meant the exact sound of the vocals in the original, since that's what the lawsuit is about. It seems like they could be talking about like the background vocal sample.
Stop it.
The defendants conspired to use a deliberate and nearly indistinguishable imitation of Mr. Astley's voice throughout the song. So I'm guessing they're talking about the vocal sample, the thing that sounds like his voice. So they're not talking about the hook that Gravy is singing or rapping. I actually thought that was Mr. Astley as well too. I feel like this is kind of a petty thing to sue someone over. They already think the whole song is a Rick Astley sample. Are you really drawing a line between the vocal sample that sounds like it as well too? Okay, that's hilarious. They've also mentioned that the allegedly unlawful mimicking of Astley's voice has caused the singer immense damage. What is he gonna show up in the courtroom in a wheelchair? He might actually be in a wheelchair for other reasons. What kind of damage can you have from a vocal sample appearing in a Young Gravy song, other than your pride? One alarming thing about this, though, is Astley is working with the music lawyer Richard Bush, who helped the family of Marvin Gaye win a copyright case over Pharrell Williams and Robin Thicke's song Blurred Lines. Bush said that Mr. Astley owns his voice. California law is clear since the Bette Midler case more than 30 years ago that nobody has a right to imitate or use it without his permission. Young Gravy claimed that Astley had approved this song, which his lawyers claim is false. So I guess I'll give you guys an update on this at some point in the near future. It's definitely an interesting case. I don't know, it does seem a bit petty to me, and to say that it caused him immense damage is definitely exaggerating, you know? I don't know what kind of immense damage could that have caused. I would believe him a lot more if he gave reasons that it caused him immense damage. From what I could tell here, he did not, though. Maybe we shouldn't be worried about AI taking our gerbs, though, and we should be worried about Young Gravy taking our gerbs. Our voice gerbs. It's stupid. Oh, that's familiar. That is. It's got notes of newt. In our next story, I'm going to talk really quickly about Rick Rubin's interview on 60 Minutes. If you guys would like me to deep dive into this further, let me know and I will definitely do so. As you can see here, Rick Rubin, quite a few production credits, to say the least. He's basically worked with everyone in the industry. So there was a controversial clip of him being passed around.
Do you play instruments?
Barely.
Do you know how to work a soundboard?
No. I have no technical ability, and I know nothing about music.
It almost sounds like he's trolling.
You must know something.
Well, I know what I like and what I don't like. And
I mean, that's a really important part of being a producer. That can get you really far.
I'm decisive about what I like and what I don't like.
So what are you being paid for?
Dude, he just said it.
Confidence that I have in my taste and my ability to express what I feel has proven helpful for artists.
Not just artists, like generations of artists. Rubin also presented a rather unusual argument on why there's no need to give listeners what they want. The audience comes last, he said. The audience doesn't know what they want, the audience only knows what comes before. I think that's true because the audience generally doesn't have as refined of an ear as a producer or artist may have, because they spend a lot of time on the front lines of music, you know, they're on the cutting edge. They're making things that could be new that the audience may not be ready for. The audience is listening to music in their spare time, whereas a producer or artist is listening to music all the time, 24/7 essentially. I can understand where he's coming from with that argument. I criticize people for making long videos and then I'm gonna make a long video. To rephrase that here, maybe I wasn't clear in my producer tier list. I don't like when people make long videos that don't need to be long videos. If you can get to the point faster, then I think you should. There's no problem with long videos, unless they are not edited to optimization. Oh my god. News. MIDI sequencing plugin, Strokes, revamped with samplers and effects. I actually don't even know what it is. I just saw the name Strokes and I was like, I gotta click this. That sounds interesting. That sounds funny. I need to know what that's about. So Strokes is a MIDI sequencing plugin capable of generating complex rhythms, melodies, and modulation signals that we described as an instant inspiration generator. They're probably overselling that. It now has 8 samplers, 2 effects modules, and the samplers are well integrated with the sequencer. Now it has Ableton Link integration, cross-platform project sharing, and a bundled sample pack, 35 pounds. Why is the video on the right shot in like 5 FPS? The hand there looks like a mannequin hand for some reason. I'm sorry if you actually have a fake hand. I'm not trying to roast you. I'm just trying to make jokes, okay, man? This channel's about jokes. Okay, this is not the best demo here. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way the loop keeps interrupting. It would have been a lot better if it was like on a loop. Maybe he's just playing in like 17.4. This looks painful to use, to be honest. Okay, and we're back with Spitfire Audio with another freaking library. I swear to God, they're putting these things out every single week. They must have a sweatshop operation going on, because there's no other way. Spitfire Audio's ALBION COLOSSUS is out now. Brings the epic sound of Hollywood blockbusters to your DAW. I don't know what that means. 2 complete orchestras, heavy chugging guitars, hard-hitting set of percussion, and epic widescreen synths. I don't know what a widescreen synth is, but I'm willing to find out. It's described as their most epic library yet. All-in-one toolkit. Okay. That's exciting. So it has over 100 gigabytes of cinematic sounds, including strings, brass, woodwinds, percussion, drums, synths, and guitars. At the core of the library are recordings of 2 orchestras, a 42-player chamber orchestra and a 111-player symphony orchestra. The price of £299 or $349. GUI looks pretty nice, looks like the other Spitfire things. This face here. I don't know, maybe that's what it looks like when you fall off a building. I don't know. I've never fallen off a building before. What does it all mean? I have no idea what that video meant, but the sound was great. Okay, enough of that. In our next story, Radiohead fan has recreated the In Rainbows album using sounds from Mario 64. Created by YouTuber On4Word, produced using sound font format. I was hoping we can get another picture of it so we could do another Rorschach test. Oh, they mentioned that in here. I'm gonna be honest, I probably like this more than Radiohead's actual album. Does it really make you want to woohoo? I don't know. I don't have a very good Mario impression. Alright, today we'll be doing some ASMR news. Google says that its Music LM AI model is the best text-to-speech music generator yet, and the audio examples might just prove it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. New technology can create complete tracks based on just a few words of description. Okay, and then here we have articles, suck in AI. I guess they want to be spared by their AI overlords when they come to take over the throne. Okay, so it generates high fidelity music from text, which is that's better than the old thing. Main soundtrack of an arcade game, it is fast paced and upbeat. With a catchy electric guitar riff, the music is repetitive and easy to remember, but with unexpected sounds. I don't know, it sounds a little bit generic. The sounds aren't the greatest, but that is a little bit concerning. I'm assuming they've picked some of their best though. I don't know why they would pick the worst samples here. A rising synth is playing an arpeggio with a lot of reverb. It is backed by pads, sub-bass line, and soft drums. This song is full of synth sounds, creating a soothing and adventurous atmosphere. It may be playing at a festival during 2 songs for a build-up. Okay. That's incredibly generic, if I could be honest. That doesn't even sound like something that someone would actually make. Sounds like it's MP3 quality too. This is definitely a step up for the AI music, but it still sounds AI generated. Weird thing to me about this is on Twitter, when I saw this, the person posting it seemed like they were proud of what they were doing. And I don't understand why you would proudly try to make AI music. Like, they have to understand that if this does succeed and it does go all the way forward, they're going to be ruining the careers for a lot of people. So I don't know why they're so proudly trying to develop this. It's kind of pathetic. I do think though, this will just increase the demand for certain aspects within music though. It's going to increase the demand for actual live performances. DJing may still be popular, but I'm sure there'll be AI DJing as well too, because DJing is not that hard in comparison to producing, in my opinion. I do think it may increase the demand for like actual live performance, people playing music, just more human sounding music. Not that it can't be electronic, but like more things that just sound more organic, you know. It sounds like a person made it. This has nothing to do with like the sound sources, more so just the feeling of it. About that time again. In our next story, BANDLAB has bought AIRBIT. Some people in the audience may be like, I don't know what the hell either of those things are. BANDLAB makes a mobile DAW. They also own Cakewalk. And then AIRBIT used to be called My Flash Store. So that's a beat selling website. So the acquisition is effective from today. So the service will be uninterrupted. As it says here, AIRBIT is, according to its site, a place to buy beats from the world's best producers. All right, then I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm on AIRBIT, so... It's a joke, obviously, guys. I'm not one of the world's best producers. That's definitely not true. I don't know who else is on AIRBIT either. I've never heard of anyone else being on AIRBIT. I'm pretty sure everyone's on BeatStars. Still quite a few things. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God. This is going to be the longest episode of WNN of all time, I think. Dude, why'd I have to say that shit about long videos? Now people are going to be like, this is a long video. This is a long video. And it's like, dude, I was making a point about the long video thing. I was saying including things that don't need to be included in there, okay? People are going to take that out of context, though, because people are stupid. You know what? I could just go through the news as fast as possible. There could be no jokes, and I could just, like, speed the whole thing up to 2x, and then we could just get through this as quick as possible. Maybe do you guys prefer that? Oh my God, I think there's something on the lens. I think there's something, it's news. There is now a device that can translate the biodata of a cactus into MIDI. Why? Just f it. That's why. The tool they're using to do it looks like something out of a space age movie where they don't have an idea of what the future would look like, but this is what they thought the future would look like. Either that or it's made by Teenage Engineering. The device is called PlantWave. Of course it is. And it turns the biodata from organic objects into MIDI. Ooh, 4:3 aspect ratio. Edgy. When a cactus makes better music than you. Is that Brian Eno there? I can't believe this is a real device here. This top part up here, that looks like something from Dragon Ball Z. You know the thing they would use to find the Dragon Balls? Let's check out what Dexerto is calling the most incredible music performance on Twitch of all time. Giving you a content warning here. This is awful.
I'm like, who is your man's? Ayy, can't keep my dick in my pants. Ayy, my bitch don't love me no more. Ayy, she get me out. I'm like, whoa. Ayy,
it's Vro, okay? It's not whoa.
I gave her dick, she got mad. Ayy, she put her tongue on my dick. Ayy, look at my wrist about 10. Just got a pound of that boot. Ayy, got in the street for the booth. Ayy, probably my heel for good boots. Ayy, she said one fuck bitch I do. Ayy.
What did X do to deserve this? I mean, I know he was a bad guy, or it seems like he was a bad guy, but man, like, I don't think anyone deserves this, okay? No one deserves this. It's actually really, I mean, I can't tell if they're being serious or not. Okay, so she just joined this organization called One True King, and I wonder how much they paid for them to say this specifically. It must have been a lot. Either that or they're trolling, right? Either way, we need to put a stop to Twitch until we can figure out what's going on here. Oh boy, there's a lot of strange happenings lately. In our next story, Pittsburgh Modular's TAIGA is a new semi-modular that pushes the boundaries of analog synthesis. They're describing as a complete modern modular instrument that allows us to explore beyond the boundaries of a traditional analog synthesizer. It can function standalone in a wooden enclosure or as part of a broader Euro rack setup as a 60 HP module. It can be played out of the box without any patching, using a subtractive signal flow, and alternatively, each of the synth's elements can be used independently and patched into existing modular rig using the 60-point patch bay. So it has 3 analog oscillators, the 4 core waveforms. It can utilize a 6-stage cascading wave folder to fold between these wave shapes. Also has pulse width modulation. It has filters. If you're interested in that though, I'll link to the rest of the information. It's available for $799. Deuce. In our next story, we'll be talking about another granular effect plugin, because we definitely don't have enough of those. It processes audio into tiny recorded loops, which is completely unheard of. To 64 grains, incoming audio can be frozen. This just sounds like any other granular effect or synth I've ever heard of. I feel like granular effects and synths are like ripe with fooling people. I've seen so many people post like granular effects they've made on Twitter, and then people are just like, oh my god, how do I buy this? Little do they know there are already effects like this. News. In our next story, Spotify becomes the first music streaming service to surpass 200 million subscribers. That's the whole story. I heard that you can turn a pair of headphones into a microphone. So let's just see how this works here. News. In our next story, we're going to talk about what's hip. And what's hip apparently is to make a live stream or podcasting mixer. Yamaha has released the AG08, a new flagship live streaming mixer for podcasters, YouTubers, and Twitchers. They should have just said live streamers. What the hell's a Twitcher? I think that's someone with like Tourette's or something. This thing actually looks kind of sick for live streaming though. You got like a little soundboard on it. You got faders. There's a voice changer. Priority ducker too. That's pretty good. That sounds really good for having a nice live stream. 2 independent headphone monitor channels. So with the faders, you can control the signals from multiple computer apps or analog line inputs. So yeah, $630. It's pretty expensive. So if you are a rich live streamer, this might be good for you. So this might be good for someone like Asmongold, Pokimane, Hassan. Everyone else though, I don't know. I don't know about you. It's time for the news. In our next story, Music Radar will be comparing the Rhodes MK8 with the Rhodes V8 plugin. So they were asking this old man if he could tell the difference. Just kidding, it's Steve Levine. I mean, that sounds clearly sounds a lot more digital to me.
Okay, I can hear a big difference in the low end. I would say number 2 is probably the real thing. And if it isn't, you've done a fantastic job.
Gotcha. They tricked the old man, damn it. I mean, to me, the plugin sounds worse, man. I don't know. Someone said that I seem like I'm getting tired of saying the news thing, and I'm just trying to keep it fresh, okay? It's not that I don't want to say news or I'm tired of the whole gimmick. I'm trying to not repeat the same gag. Okay, in our next segment here, we're going to be talking about all the free shit you can get this month. There's not much, actually. There's just a few things I stumbled across. I'm sure there's a lot more than this. So Sample Radar is giving away 97 samples. They're free digital bass samples. There's 72 bassline loops and 12 multi-samples. The synths used were the CMI5 Fairlight, the Synclavier, the Prophet VS, the CZ5, and the DX7 5. Then we also have some vocal loops and Ableton effect racks. These ones are by Ableton.com, specifically Shima, which is a Japanese singer, producer, and engineer. There's a whole interview with her. You don't get to hear what they sound like though. People said I look like I'm balding. Do I look like I'm balding? Is that news to you? That's it for the news tonight, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of WNN. I'm your host, Uyghur Beast. Make sure to check me out on my social medias, linked in the description, as well as my Twitch, which I'll be streaming on later today. And I also am hosting a beat battle if you didn't see the previous video about it. If you guys want to see that, I'll link a video to that down in the description as well, too. I'll see you guys next time.